Yo guys, Roundedtiktak here, and just a short quick intro. Originally this video wasn't going to exist. Originally when this gun came out, the hero rework didn't exist, and since both of those things combined, I figured I wanted to bring this to you. Originally I was just trying to find a gun that most people have in their collection book, or at least had access to, that they may not be using, to an alternative to the bundle bus. And this gun does the job nicely. Granted, it's not the bundle bus because nothing is the bundle bus, but this gun is a close second. In fact, it's top tier in my opinion. Also, originally, I didn't want to make this a build guide, but playing around with it long enough, we figured out a build that min-maxes the crap out of this. Granted, that build has been done a ton on YouTube already, but I missed that calling, I guess. So I just wanted to bring you this. Two ways you can roll it, two characters you can use it with. Feel free to use it with any character you want and just sit back and absolutely decimate enemies, hitting for up to 1.1 million damage per shot in a perfect scenario. Let's talk about it, guys. This is the Rat King. So yeah, guys, the Rat King. Is it worth leveling up? I'm gonna tell you right now, yes. In fact, I think it's top tier, possibly one of the best weapons in the game, maybe like about top 5. The reason being is because you can manipulate the game currently to basically hit for a ton of damage consistently every single time, and it just really works out. But before we get into any of that, let's take a look at the Rat King itself. It is a slow firing, very slow firing, I mean insanely slow, 2.0 fire rate weapon that shoots a slug that splits into 5 pieces and does a lot of damage. Now, this is the important part, guys, and I mean this. Like I said earlier, originally I didn't mean for this to be or turn into a build video. I just wanted to showcase the Rat King. But so we're gonna do both. So first of all, if you want to run this on the specific build we're gonna talk about in a second, this is how it's done. Double crit damage, 1 reload, physical or energy. In fact, energy is what I suggest, just I don't have any reperk to change it. And damage to slowed and snared. This weapon destroys everything like this. Playing a specific build, you are not going to put magazine size here no matter what. It doesn't matter too much regardless, but for the build I'm going to show you, it does. So make sure you put reload speed here. Again, if you do not want to use this weapon for this specific build that has been showcased on other channels before, you can make this crit chance and it'll still be perfectly fine. In fact, it'll be better than fine. It is still a great gun. Just change one of these crit damages to crit chance and you'll be splendid. It still hits like a monster. You'll be hitting for around 300k per shot. It's kind of nuts on any character, as long as it crits. As long as it crits, you'll be hitting for like 300k. Now, what is the backup gun that if you do not have this one, that you can use instead if you want something similar? Well, don't hate me here, but we're gonna take a look at if I can find it, the Hydra, guys. The Hydra has been out forever. In fact, I believe originally it was one of the one of the original rewards you could get for one of the first events they ever had. Funny enough, how it's rolled is pretty good. Crit rating, reload speed, damage, crit damage. Again, you can use this gun exactly how it comes. In fact, you don't have to spend any reperk changing any of the perks around. You can use it exactly like this. However, if you want to use the specific build we're going to talk about in a second, change this crit rating to crit damage. You're going to run double crit damage on these guns for this particular build. If not, the gun's DPS and damage brackets are basically the exact same. Let me just show you that real quick and we'll get into the hero build and then we'll get into some footage and gameplay of it. So if we look at my backpack, because that's where I have both of these, and we go over to stats, we can see that they are rolled exactly the same. Crit damage, damage, crit damage. However, this does have a bonus damage roll, and then this one here is the double crit damage one. So if we take a look at their stats, 41k, 62k. Down here we have 41k, 62k. Same critical hit damage modifier. This one has a slightly larger range. This one has a slightly faster reload speed. This one has 2280 impact. This one has 2375. So with that being said, if you do not have the Rat King, I know for 100% chance you can get the Hydra. The reason I prefer the Rat King is personal. I like how it shoots, and I like how the bullets spread farther once you're farther away, allowing you to hit multiple targets for a lot of damage. A lot. It turns into like almost like a shotgun. It almost turns into like a shotgun, very similar to the Super Shredder. In fact, I probably should compare it to the Super Shredder, but I'm not going to because I don't like that gun anymore. Not only am I not going to compare it to the Super Shredder because I don't like it anymore, it's also a sniper rifle, so you'd have to change around this build and you can't get the same kind of things. So the actual build, if you're running that double crit damage Rat Kings or Hydras, this is the build to use. First assault, after reloading assault weapons, the next 6 shots have a 100% critical hit chance. That is why all of your guns are low magazine size and high crit damage. The bundle bus works here really well too. In fact, any assault rifle that has a very small magazine works really well here. We're going to be using Hunter's Instinct for that insane increase in damage during nighttime, and as you guys saw in the other video, most defenses do take place during night as long as you're doing them at a decent rate. Locked and Reloaded, after reloading, increases weapon damage by 15%. Make It Rain, headshots up to 20% extra damage. In a pinch, this is going to be in any build ever, really, so you're good there. Assault crit damage adds another 75%, and assault base damage by 17. Now, if you do not have Rio, or is this her name anymore? Yes, Rio, if you do not have her, Locked and Reloaded character, who is, I think, Skull Trooper something, Skull Ranger Ramirez is a decent second pick here. So you would change out the perk for her, put her in the command slot, and that would be your thing. Her build actually, this needs actually some testing, by the way. After reloading, increases weapon damage by 15% and fire rate by 35% for 5 seconds. So if you do not have Rio, feel free to use her. But you're gonna have to change that crit damage roll, the double crit damage, to a single crit chance, single crit damage. Remember, you can only use it as a double crit damage weapon using this build with this character. You can change out all of these, but you need her here if and only if you're running double crit damage, but you do not need to. This is just min-maxing at its finest to see how hard we can get, how effective it is. And yes, it's beautiful. It works really, really well, but it's not necessary in any means. And if you do not have a gun that is good for killing mist monsters, low magazine size, bullets that hit hard, and you just want to shoot once or twice and have the mist monster, the blaster, dead and done for, then you just put that crit chance, crit damage on it, and you are fine. You're good to go. You do not have to play this character. But if you do choose to play this character, these are the kind of numbers that you can expect to see. 777,000, 600,000, 500,000 per shot. And if you happen to find a physical smasher, say goodbye to that big boy because he's not lasting long at all. Now, it doesn't compete with the bundle bus. I mean, it competes with it, but the bundle bus is just so over the top that nothing really can beat it as of yet. Until they release something new that's even better than the bundle bus, I think if you do not have it and you're looking for something that's similar, the Rat King is your go-to. Now, why do I like the Rat King so much more than the Hydra? Well, there are a couple of reasons for that too. The reason I like the Rat King more than the Hydra, well, there's a few reasons for that. Number one, when the Hydra was first released, there wasn't this loadout that you can do to guarantee crits. I never liked the weapon personally. Mathematically, it is basically the same exact gun. However, they do something a little different. The Hydra is a much tighter spread on the bullet. However, the bullets kind of spray off in random different directions. The Rat King does not suffer from that. The Rat King technically on the second shot will hit harder, but the Hydra will hit harder on the first shot. The damage is not really what we're comparing here at all. In fact, the main difference between the gun is the one cool thing that the Rat King can do that the Hydra cannot. Well, it can, but it's just a lot harder to pull off. For some reason, the bullet spread on the gun is a little wonky, but in a good way. It can hit multiple targets for the same amount of damage without losing any damage. It's not like you only had 3 pellets on one guy and it doesn't do all of the damage. It does. You can see it right here in this clip, me shooting multiple blasters at once, getting multiple damage numbers to come up. I really like that. It's really good for tunnels. It's really good for clearing out husks. It is very, very accurate. Another reason why I like the Rat King is the impact. Although the impact on the Hydra and the Rat King are very similar, it doesn't feel that way. And funny enough, the duet that was just released, I complained about the impact because the reticle and the bloom on the duet is so all over the place, it really messes up your DPS. This is not the case with the Rat King. The Rat King, when you aim somewhere and pull the trigger, that bullet, those 5 bullets go to that location. There is no spread, there is no nothing like that. It is almost like a 5 laser beam gun. I really, really like the Rat King, guys. If you don't have it, check it out. If you want a Mist Monster Killer, get the Hydra if you do not have the Rat King. The Bundle Bus still beats all of them, but I think this definitely deserves a spot somewhere. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for supporting the channel. This Saturday, tomorrow, we're going to be doing a huge giveaway on Twitch. If you're interested in winning one of these to try it out, or a Bundle Bus, or Sunbeam, or gas traps, or planks, you can win all of that and more at twitch.tv/roundedtiktak, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. We have a new giveaway arena. There will be a notification on YouTube when we go live, so you won't miss anything. Also, me and Demon Joe France may have something coming up that's a little special, so stay tuned for that, boyos. That's really it, guys. Check out the Rat King. I guarantee you'll love it. Tiktak out.